All right, Shalom. This is Har one by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Mahamath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, they said, I heard on Dabu 77 that there was an earthquake off of the coast of Florida, what they call Flagler County, not too far from where we hold camp or where we're based at in Jacksonville. And I noticed on that show on Dabu 77, he said he was wondering what it was. He suspected that they were up to something, that it wasn't a natural earthquake. So I looked into it, and this is what I found. It says the U.S. Navy shock trial, right? So it was a shock trial, all right? We're going to find out what a shock trial is in a minute. The U.S. Navy shock trial creates earthquake off Florida coast, all right? So they ain't even telling nobody, all right? And the scriptures speak of these things happening in these last days. I'm going to get some scriptures on it in a minute. It says, Jacksonville, Florida, the U.S. Navy has confirmed that a shock trial was conducted on Friday, July 16th, leading to a 3.9 magnitude earthquake measured off the coast of Flagler Beach, all right, Florida. The United States Geological Survey recorded the shock trial as an experimental explosion. Experimental explosion, man. So that could lead to a false flag or a preparation for an attack that could happen on America's coast or on their ships, because that's what this was. It was a mock attack on the ship explosion, and it was so strong that it created. It was like underwater, probably a nuke, and that's what. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show something else in another article. It said the United States Geological Survey recorded the shock trial as an experimental explosion. A similar shock trial took place on June 21st. So they've been having them frequently, man. All right. It says, which also led to a 3.9 magnitude earthquake. And a lot of people probably felt that over there in Flagler County, and wondering what the hell it was. They're probably running around all kind of gossip, saying it was a natural earthquake. Who knows? But this was man-made. All right. It says there is no reported damage or injuries due to the earthquake. Now, all right. So let's read about the shock trial that they had on the 21st of June this year. And it says 3.9 magnitude earthquake measured off Florida's east coast. The United States Geological Survey measured the seismic event roughly 100 miles off the coast of Ponce Inlet. All right. It says now it's going to explain what a shock trial is. Ponce Inlet, Florida, a reported 3.9 magnitude earthquake off the Florida's east coast Friday was actually an experimental explosion. The U.S. Navy confirmed. A spokesperson with the Navy told Action News Jax that what was measured were a result of military shock trials. They are not unusual, nor is it unusual for them to register as earthquakes. It says shock trials test a ship to see how it holds up in a undersea explosion. This is to test strength of the ship's hull and making sure it can perform in battle. All right, and that's what I was wondering about because I believe they're preparing for war, all right, or an attack. All right, and also it shows how far Esau has gotten, man, to be testing all kind of nukes and causing earthquakes upon the earth. The United States Geological Survey measured the seismic event roughly 100 miles off the coast of Ponce Inlet. All right, and this is all around the same time you have earthquakes popping up all over Yellowstone Park. All right, so this is the area where the first one was. Okay, and now the next one was like over here somewhere. All right, Flagler County. All right, I'm gonna read a couple tabloids, man, because everybody knows about the video that Russia put out there showing the map of Florida, how they can drop missiles or nukes on Florida, right? Then you have all these tabloids. Look, areas in U.S. most likely to be struck in a nuclear attack with Russia, right? Um, check this out. It says, what cities would most likely be attacked are Washington, New York City, and Los Angeles. Of course, anywhere in America that get attacked, it would destroy this place, man. Right? Ultimately, it'd be the destruction would be so bad. The what do you call it? The nuclear fallout, and the scriptures speak about it, um, sweeping across America as a broom. All right, sweeping across this place, man. So all these nations are going to cast their missiles, arrows at this place, Babylon. All right, so their ships are not going to be able to um, defend this place. It says using a van or SUV device could easily, well, whatever, could easily be delivered to the heart of a city and detonated. Wow. The effects and response planning from a nuclear blast are determined using static from Washington, the most likely target. All right. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists has the 2021 doomsday clock at 100 seconds. All right. Is there a threat of nuclear war? Citing the rising threat of nuclear war. But our estimation, by our by our estimation, the potential for the world to stumble into nuclear war, an ever-present danger over the last 75 years, increased in 2020. Okay, read one more. Will there be a World War III? And we know there will be according to the scriptures, but let's read this real quick. Many then believed that the conflict was likely to soon escalate into a full-scale war between three countries, the U.S., the USSR, and China. CBS war correspondent Bill Downs wrote in 1951 that, to my mind, the answer is yes. Korea is the beginning of World War III. Whew. All right, Korea was divided 1950s. Russia took North Korea and America took South Korea. But so all these proxy nations are going to pull Babylon or America, the U.S., into world war. It's going to be a war right at the borders of this place as well. All right, because that's what's happening, man. They're all preparing for war. They're all doing military tests, nuclear tests, you know, uh, and testing all their defenses, trading, what they call the arms races going on between China against China and America and North Korea and Iran, and Russia. This is all scriptural. All right, and there's also scriptural about the earthquakes. So this is Jeremiah 50 and 22. Right, it says, a sound of battle is in the land, and a great destruction. So it's a sound of battle in the land. Now, all right, it says the sound of battle in the land, and that word there is Malkama. All right, Malkama. It says a battle, war, in the sense of fighting. All right, that deals with the sedition, the protests, the uprisings that's going to happen in this place, the race wars and riots, and then you have the war that's going to happen at the on the shores of America. You have the war that's going to happen in the regional wars. All right, over there on the Europe, Ukraine, uh, the borders of Russia. Then you have over there in Israel, the land of Israel, Iran, Syria, around the Valley of Kidron, where they're gonna bring all their militaries to fight. So hey, man, the space war that's gonna happen. So it's all preparation for the war. But the Lord said their defenses aren't going to work. A sound of battle is in the land. Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? So ultimately, this place is going to be cut asunder and broken. There's ships. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. This is Revelation 8 and 5. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there was voices and thunders and lightnings and an earthquake. And the seven angels which had the seven trumpets prepared themselves to sound. All right, that's the last trumpets. All right, dealing with the destruction and the deliverance. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, man. And that hail represents the missiles. All right, this is before the big dog missiles get shot off, because you're gonna have a missile called Wormwood. All right, of the ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. But before that, check this out. It says the first angel sounded, and there were followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up. All right. And all green grass was burnt up. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. All right. And that's what they talking about, them underwater nukes, man. And they don't even have to hit the shore, the earth. They can shoot it right into the waters, cause tsunamis and all kind of destruction. And the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. That's talking about humans too, that are on them boats and in the submarines. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. So all these ships that are around this place, Babylon, they're gonna be destroyed. All right, third part of them. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. This is the ICBMs. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the waters. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to the point because this goes into the ICBMs, but I want to stick to this war that's going to be on the shores and the doorsteps of this place, Babylon. All right, let's get back to Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? So this place, they try to hit you and then, um, you know, and then run. They caused so much hell around the world. Now they're preparing, man, because Iran is threatening to strike. What was that? A couple years ago, they was out there antagonizing the U.S. ships in the sea. All right. Then you got Russia. There's talks of Russia hitting America East Coast with an EMP and Iran as well. China can do the same thing. All right. So how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So they ultimately testing their defenses where they're really defenseless. The Lord has allowed these nations and their scientists and generals and their think tanks to conjure up these missiles and super missiles and vanguards. All right. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. Yahweh have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. See the missiles, man. So they ain't gonna be able to stop them. They're not gonna. They're gonna be defenseless against it, man. The scriptures call this place the land of unwalled villages, man. It has no defenses. It's defenseless against these nations' weapons. All they gotta do is shoot an MP, and it's over with. Um, and China's threatened to shoot an EMP on their ships, on their aircraft carriers as well. All right, Yahweh have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Today that represents this place, America. Come against her from the utmost border, so they can prepare with their ships all they want, do these damn strike tests or whatever you want to call it, shock tests, causing earthquakes. It's not going to matter. Ultimately, the judgment is in the hands of Yahweh. So the Lord said this, come against her from the utmost border. So all these nations are going to come up to the borders of Babylon with their ships and submarines and aircraft carriers and whatever. Just like America was invading these other nations. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, man. All right. Cast her up as heaps and destroy her utterly. So they can stop all these ships and reroute all the ships from coming in this place. You know, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Whew. So ain't nothing these ships can do, man. They can prepare all they want. All right, Isaiah 47 and 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. All right. So this place is no longer called the ruler over these nations, man. No longer called the peacekeeper of the earth. All right, that's what it was called. After America was called the peacekeeper of the earth after World War II, when they was established as a nuclear power through Europe. Now it says they're no longer called that. They were ruling with the dollar, ruling with the military, and their democracy, but they disguised as Christianity. The government, they tie them together. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Talking about Israel, the Israelites. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily laid thy yoke. All right. So what this place Esau has set up to be against us, the Lord gonna turn against them now. They want to set up their ships all over on the coast and get prepared, making nukes, destroying the earth. Well, the Lord gonna shut down their defenses, man. All right, rendering them defenseless, because that's what they're doing. They're destroying the earth, man. Destroying the animals in the sea, causing earthquakes, disrupting the earth. Even the earth can't be at peace until the children of Israel are in power, until Yahushua returns, or Yahweh sends Yahushua. All right. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it, man. So this place, they uphold the Bible. They when they in court, when they in their so-called marriages that they do, their wicked marriages in these churches, right? And they try to use the Bible, but they don't believe or keep anything or honor anything in the scriptures. All right, and they believe in idolatry and they tie it to the Bible, you know, putting Caesar Borgia in there. So this place is gonna be destroyed according to the scriptures. And thou saidest, I will, I shall be a lady forever. I'm gonna get to 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, man, that saidest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. So they don't understand that the Lord has allowed places like Iran to become stronger. And he used Russia to do it. See, they just say Russia, Iran ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Well, they're gonna use Russia. Russia gonna back them and prop them up according to Ezekiel 37. All right, be thou a guard unto them. Prepare thyself and the people, the rest of them. So if any of those nations get sent up to the shores of America, they're gonna basically be an ally with Russia or China. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. All right, so, but these two things shall come upon thee in one moment, in one day. A loss of children, all the people in this place, and widowhood, they're gonna lose all the support from these nations, man. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. See, it's been built up to this one perfect moment to where everything gonna be unleashed by Yahweh. Their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And that's what this place is, a melting pot. So with a melting pot, you're gonna have what? All kind of minds and thoughts and philosophies and idolatry. All right. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, man. They can prepare all they want, but the Lord says it will come as a thief in the night. And the mischief shall fall upon thee. So it's going to happen. You know, thou shalt not be able to put it off. So they can prepare all the missiles, prepare their ships, whatever they want, causing these 3.9 earthquakes, shaking the earth up, scaring all the damn animals. And it's all vanity. All right, it's all in vain because the Lord said they won't be able to put it off. That means they won't be able to defend themselves. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right, 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, meaning pay attention, see what's going on in the world, and pay attention to the prophecies. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so the Lord is visiting, man, and judging the earth. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, So we're seeing earthquakes pop up. They said it was like 140, 150 something just in a few hours over there in the Yellowstone Park. And that's where America's super mega volcano is located. All right. And beyond, and is way past its scheduled time to erupt. All right. So it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So we're seeing earthquakes, especially off of Florida. You'll never see earthquakes around Florida unless it's a missile test or something. All right. You got earthquakes uh, all over the East Coast, or the West Coast in California, of course. And it says, and uproars of the people. So what are we seeing? We're seeing uproars of the people like Haiti, Cuba, right, South Africa, Europe, right here in America as well. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs.